Hello, my lovelies. I am back. This is Dr. V, and I'm back today with a special reading. Today is actually my birthday, and so yay, Virgo season. But as a gift to my community, for all of you that have been here and are watching these videos, I wanted to do a special spread. Today for Virgo season, those of us having birthdays, and really anybody who's watching. If you tune into this reading and the energies resonate, then it's for you. Take it, run with it, and enjoy. So before we get started, Spirit, thank you for this time. Thank you for this space. Thank you for the gift of seeing another day. I ask that you bless this message, that you send us encouragement, positivity, and exactly what we need to be able to move forward in this journey of life and love. Ashe, Amen, Aho. So similar to yesterday, I'm going to start off with an overall energy for the reading from the Neon Love Oracle deck. This is just your overall energy for today, for this week, for the near future, regarding the love life of the person, the people who are watching. Yesterday's reading was a good one. I hope you took the time to write down your vision and your wishes, because I really feel encouraged about all of those things. So the overall energy is mixed signals. It's interesting because I just literally talked about the importance of writing things down and being clear. That was a message that came through very clearly yesterday as well, is be very, very clear about the signals that you're sending to the universe, right? So if you're hoping and manifesting love, then you have to be consistent with that, right? If you're manifesting, the analogy I used yesterday is that if you want to purchase a home, then don't look at rentals, right? Because that kind of sends a contradicting mixed message. If you want love, focus on love. If you want healing, focus on healing. And be really positive about it. Try to avoid what a lot of people tend to do, which is looking at things as they are and not looking at things as we want them to be. And that's part of the thing with manifestation that's so important, is being in connection with what you want and the energy of what you want to manifest, as opposed to what you're seeing in front of you right now. So I'm not talking about being delulu. What I'm talking about is having a vision and staying focused on that. So when you are thinking about your manifestations, focusing on how it will feel to have that, right? So if you're manifesting a partner, how is it going to feel? What are you guys going to do? What's going to happen in your heart space? What's going to happen in your stomach? How is it going to be the first time that you go out on a date, right? Kind of feel all of that in your manifestation energy. Because if you're feeling sad and despondent, or like, well, that's just not here yet, well, then you're sending mixed signals, right? So we want to be very clear. So because it's my birthday and it's the next, my next turn around the sun, what I'm going to do for this spread is pull cards on what is being left behind. So it's not just obviously because it's my birthday, so it's not a reading for me. That would be weird. But it's for us as a collective. So what is it that we're leaving behind as we move forward, right? Because at any day, literally any day, any moment, you can choose for this to be the moment that you start over, that you choose to do something different. And so for many of you, that is exactly what you're doing. You're choosing to close the door on old things. You wrote down a new manifestation list yesterday. You're really in the flow. And that's what is critical and important right now. So let's look at what we're leaving behind. Well, I just got a message that for a lot of us, we're leaving behind mixed signals, right? Where we're not going to be like oh, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I'm, constantly looking for a new job. And as I said yesterday, like obviously people need income. So if you're looking for a job, that's not a bad thing. It's just recognizing the difference between like a temporary stopping point and a resting place versus, a permanent decision. Well, although there's not too many decisions that are permanent, but anyway. All right, what are we leaving behind? And this one is, I forgot, the Colorful Neon Tarot deck. Okay. I'm going to pull 3 cards for what is it that we're leaving behind? Ooh, trickery, deception, including self-deception. Interesting. Okay, I really enjoyed this spread so far, because it's saying like, look, this is that kind of like, F-boy energy that we talk about often. Like this is that kind of energy where it's like sneaky, it's deceptive, it's dishonest. So you're leaving all of that behind. So if you have in the past a history of dating people or being in relationship with people who bring this kind of energy, that's ending. It's over. It's done. You're leaving that energy behind. You're no longer going to entertain people who give mixed signals. Like you're kind of moving into this space where it's like, your worth, what you're wanting to manifest, how it's going to feel when you're manifesting that thing that you really want. And so anything that doesn't give that energy is not going to get a moment of your time, like, which is really beautiful, because I feel like, gosh, so many people spend so much time really trying to work with people and try to like reach compromise and so on and so forth. And it ends up just hurting them in the long run. And this is saying, look, it's time to leave all that behind. Like we only entertain clear signals, clear communication, no deception, no sneaking, that's just gone. That's it. The next thing that we're leaving behind, for some of you, this is a third party situation. For some of you, this is like where there's maybe there's an ex or someone that there's like still an emotional entanglement with. There's some of that. For some of you, this is leaving behind like a partying lifestyle. So if you are a person who has historically or currently uses a lot of substance and goes out and parties and does things like that, it's like you're leaving that behind and moving into a more focused lifestyle, where instead of like going out and partying or drinking or smoking weed or whatever, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But there's sometimes people reach a point where they're like, in order for me to manifest the life that I want to manifest, I need to do things differently. And so for a lot of people, you're kind of uprooting the way that you've done things in the past, and you're starting a new way of living, which includes, I see like a vision of somebody who's like used to stay up late, partying or hanging out or doing whatever, and now is like deciding to get up early and go for long walks and meditate and do yoga and journal and visualize. And it's kind of flipping your lifestyle on its head in order to manifest what you want, because you realize that if you want something new, you're going to have to approach it in a different way, and that we can't do the same thing that we've always done and expect to get a different result. The last thing is no more illusions, no more fantasies, right? A lot of people do this thing where it's like, I want something or I wish for something, which is actually a really safe energy to be in, because as long as you're wanting something, you don't actually have to work for it. So you can stay in that energy of like, I want this to happen or I want that. But as long as you are in that space, you don't have to make the decision to commit to work for that thing. So a lot of you are leaving behind these fantasies, because you see these cups are up in the air. There's a lot of decisions. And a lot of times people will stay in that space of having a lot of options, having a lot of decisions, because it's safer or better for them than to have to make a decision. Because once you choose one of these cups, you don't get to choose the rest of them. I hope that's making sense. So as long as you can choose to be wanting to manifest something, you can continue on that path. When you commit to something, then it's different. Then all those other options go off the table, and you're no longer able to go like, oh, maybe I want this or maybe I want that. So this is a time to get really clear. Like what I'm getting very, very clear in this message is that for a lot of people, what's being left behind is this energy of indecisiveness or wishy-washy kind of energy. And what's coming is this like real profound sense of clarity and commitment to the lifestyle that you want, which is really beautiful. So we're going to move on to the next 3 cards, which is what's ahead for you. So it's interesting because this card came out yesterday. Liminal space, the Fool, and the 9 of Cups. It's super amazing energies, honestly. So this is saying, you know, you're not where you used to be, but you're not quite where you are. So what's ahead is there's going to be a period of time. They're telling me about 3 months from when you make the decision, where you're like in between, where you're kind of working toward things, and you might see some small progress, but maybe not as much as you would like. And you might start to question, like, am I even headed in the right direction? Because that's the thing with liminal space, is that you leave the place that you were and you're not to the place that you're going. And so sometimes in between, it can get a little bit scary. Like, what if I take a wrong turn? What if I'm on the wrong highway? What if I'm going about this all wrong? And so sometimes that's where people can go into doubt and many times turn back, right? Maybe they're like, well, you know, I'm not quite sure that I'm taking the right path, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn around and go back to safety. And this is saying, like, you know, don't do that, because right here, what's next is a fresh new start, a leap of faith, a new beginning. For some of you that are listening, your life is not going to look anything like it looks right now by January. And I know that feels like a long time, but literally I'm talking like within 30, 60, 90 days, things are going to like rapidly change. I'm seeing money manifestations. So some of you have a very specific amount of money that you'd like to manifest every month. That is coming. For some of you, it's a very serious relationship, life partner. You know, yesterday we got the message of like power couple type of thing. For some of you, it's career success. Some of you I see blowing up on social media. Like, there are people who are listening to this who want to do like influencing and have that kind of career. And for some of you, I'm seeing your numbers like go up to like 10, 20, 30, 100,000. It doesn't take much, right? Sometimes all you have to have is like one hit video or a hit series, or tap into the right audience, and suddenly you're making, you have 100,000 followers and you're making a lot of money on the content that you're producing. There's a young lady that I follow that is a content creator, and she posted a few weeks ago that she said at the beginning of, or in June, that she was going to manifest $10,000 from her influencing work. And in July, she did exactly that. So for some of you, you have to get that specific, because that's what's ahead. That's going to be like, you're going to see massive, massive success. And mark my words on this, because that's exactly what you're going to see. There's a fresh start for a lot of you. Like, you're going to have to be like that Jay-Z song, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is, like, because people won't recognize you. You're going to turn your life around so much in the next 30, 60, 90 days that people won't even really recognize you. They'll be like, wow, like, you are a totally different person. Like, what happened? And you'll be like, I made a decision on August 26, 2025 to change my life, and to change the way that I was showing up, and to change the things that I was doing in order to manifest what I wanted to create. And this is what happened. And you're going to be like literally living proof of your manifestations. So I'm very, very excited for that. And then the last thing is the 9 of Cups, which is fulfillment. This is emotional fulfillment. This is one of the best cards that you can possibly have in the tarot. It's like everything is lining up. Things are working. You're content. You're happy. You're successful. You're emotionally fulfilled. You have all the things that you want. Now, the one thing I don't see, obviously here is like the 10 of Cups is the happy home, like marriage kind of card. So what I feel like is that you are manifesting your love interest. Like you are definitely manifesting that relationship, and it's on its way, and it's going to be really fulfilling. Your job, your task, what is that, like they said in the Mission Impossible, it's your challenge, should you wish to take it, is to find this emotional fulfillment within, right? This is important that you have that emotional fulfillment within, because when you do have that, then when you have that 10 of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, I keep saying Pentacles, the 10 of Cups that comes in, your person, they're not emotionally reliant on them to make you happy, right? A lot of people do that, where they attach their happiness or their contentment to being in a relationship with somebody. And what this card is saying is, like, don't do that. Like, find that fulfillment, find that happiness, find the joy that you're seeking internally first. And then you'll manifest that other person. And then it won't be like one of those, like, Jerry Maguire, you complete me type of things. But it'll be two complete people coming together to create a complete, whole, fulfilling relationship. I hope that's making sense. So what is your advice? All right. It's time to heal. Really what this is saying is, like, time to let go. All right, so the 10 of Swords is like a very, very painful card. Obviously, I mean, like, dude is laying on the back, on his stomach with 10 swords in his back. Like, that can't possibly be fun. But for a lot of you, you're holding on to things from the past. These old wounds, right? Where you're relationships where your feelings got hurt, where things happened, betrayals, lost jobs, whatever. It's all that kind of energy. And this is saying, like, it's time to move on from that, because for a lot of you, you've been kind of lying in place for a long time. And again, this looks painful, right? But at a certain point, we have to make the decision to, like, heal and to take the swords out and to move and to allow ourselves to move forward. You can let your pain define you, or you can transform and transmute the pain that you've experienced into medicine. And it's time to turn the wounds into medicine. That's what's happening. That's your advice, is, like, release some things, let some things go, and move forward in your life with wholeness. It's not to say that it's going to be a walk in the park, right? Sometimes healing from this kind of energy can take a long time. It can be a lot of work. But once you commit to it, it's like it starts to happen really quickly. Like, I promise you, if you committed to a healing practice of something as simple as, like, journaling in the morning, going for a walk if you're able, and meditating, and then maybe doing the same in the evening, I guarantee you, if you committed to doing that for 30 days, you would see massive changes. The problem is that people often struggle with doing that because it feels like it's so much work, right? It feels so heavy. And it is in the beginning, but it only takes like 21 days to develop a habit. And so in 21 days, you can create the momentum to change your life. Advice: it's time to move on, right? The Knight of Wands, it's like, charge toward your destiny. Don't wait anymore. Don't wait for a certain circumstance or for things to be perfect. Like, literally get so clear on what you want and what you're trying to manifest, easy for me to say, in your life, and move forward. It's time to take action. The Knight of Wands is one of the fastest moving cards in the tarot. What that means, what that says to me, is that, like I said this yesterday, the message is coming through today. If you write down your vision, it will start to happen quickly. I mean, I'm talking quickly, like, write it down and then start watching. So if you're the person I was talking to about wanting to grow your social media following and your influencing, write down how many followers you have now on the channels that you're trying to grow, right? The platforms that you're trying to grow. And then next week, write it down, and you're going to see growth. You're going to be like, oh, okay, I'm seeing it. So then you'll see more growth, more growth. Literally start writing it down and start taking action today. If you do this, I don't know why I keep getting this very urgent energy, like, write it down today, yesterday, and I feel like even into tomorrow, you can write some of this energy, write some of this down. but it's important that you do it like quickly and soon, and like be very intentional about it, because the vision that you cast right now is the vision that you will manifest. And then some. So don't limit your manifestations. Like they're telling me that, like, don't limit it to say like, I want to have 20K months. And the universe is like, okay, well, in the bank, in the reserves, I was going to bring you, $500,000 income months, but since you asked for 20K, you get 20K, right? So don't limit your manifestations. Be careful about how you write it. So if you're saying like, again, the 20K income month, you're like, you can say something like, I am manifesting, or I'm earning no less than 20K a month, because that gives the universe like a low end, if that makes sense. That then you leave it open to possibilities where you're like, okay, so that at least like no less than 20K means that you have, $100,000 a month or $500,000 a month is within that realm. Whereas if you phrase it differently, where like, I'm manifesting 20K months, well, you've set the ceiling on that. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, so write it down, be very intentional, be very clear. And this last card is the Ace of Wands. This is, again, a fresh new start. It's a beginning. It's time. It is time for you to have this fresh new start. It's time to let go of the past, anything that's been holding you back. Light a candle, write it on a bay leaf, write it on a piece of paper, do something and burn it and let it go. Literally let that shit go. Anything that you're holding on to, negativity, sadness, betrayal, anything, let it go and allow the universe to swoop in with something new, because that something new is just, it's like, I feel like it's like, when you see it, like a dog that's like really strong and they're like, pulling at their leash and they're kind of trying to move ahead, and like the leash is like holding them back, but they're like, working really hard to try to get it to keep going faster. That's what I'm seeing in terms of your manifestation. That for some of you, once you cut these cords to the past and the negativity and you allow yourselves to move forward, your destiny is going to go charging off like a big dog would if the leash was let go. Where they're like pulling and pulling and pulling, and then boom, they let, the owner drops the leash and they're suddenly off and running and they're like sprinting, right? That's what your dreams are going to do. The minute you cut this leash to the past, that you say enough is enough, I'm no longer bound by what happened to me, my circumstances, I release it, I forgive everything, everyone, every circumstance, I let it go, I release into the past into the ethers, the universe. This is in your hands now, and I'm focusing all of my energy toward the future. Like, your lives are going to change so fast. I can't even begin to tell you, like the urgency and the energy that I feel in my body is like incredible. And I want y'all to really notice that. And then I want to just pull, I think 3 cards. Okay, 2 from this deck and then 1 from the other one, which is messages from your partner. Because like all of you are here because you want somebody, or you have a love interest, or you want to manifest a love interest. And so let's get some messages from that person. It's interesting because this came out yesterday too, right? They're basically saying the same thing, right? Like, you're at a crossroads, man. Like, you just got to like take the blindfold off and make a decision. You can't hold on to the past and move toward the future at the same time. So you got to let that go. You either want to stay in the past and hold on to things that are from the past, whether that's old lovers, old energy, whatever, or you want to move toward the future, but you can't have both, right? You can't walk left and right at the same time. So it's time for you to make the decision. Either you're going to hang on to the past or you're going to move toward the future. Your choice. This card came out yesterday as well. There's victory ahead. There's satisfaction. There's, like, for a lot of you, you have, you've been hurt in romance in the past. And there's some of you that have even been told or have this like kind of underlying belief that maybe you'll never find love and that maybe you won't find what you're looking for. And there may even be people that have said that to you. Maybe like an ex in a fit of anger was like, no one's ever going to love you, right? Something like that. And then you take that in and kind of hold on to that and you feel it in your heart. And this is saying like, no, you're going to have that. And not only are you going to have it, but all the people that spoke negatively against you are going to have to see it. Right. So they're going to see you living, thriving, having this amazing life. And they're going to be like, okay, I was wrong. Like they did actually manifest the life that they were saying. And their final message from your love interest is, it's time, it's go time. That was yesterday's message, that they're grateful for the connection, even if you haven't met yet, or even if it hasn't manifested into a romance. They're aware of you on some level. They're grateful, and they want to pursue this connection. Like that's just the very clear energy that I'm getting, is that they really want to pursue this connection, and they're waiting for you to like make that decision. I'm telling you, there's this book by Paulo Coelho. He's a Brazilian author, and the book is called The Alchemist. And if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. But one of my favorite lines in the book is that once you make a decision, the entire universe lines up to support it. And so once you make the decision, like I am manifesting X, Y, and Z, I'm moving toward new love, I'm closing the door on the past, whatever this is for you, the minute that you do that, the universe is going to support you. For some of you, this person is already in your life. They've already met, you've met them. It might be in a professional context, it might be in some other context, but you have met them and they're aware of you, and they're like really grateful for having met you and had your energy around them. And the minute that you decide, literally the minute you decide, like I'm moving toward this new, in this new direction, that energy is going to manifest. I'm literally telling you, like, write it down. And if there's a person that you have an interest in, I'm not saying you can manifest a person specifically because people have free will, but you can put their name down and like, you know, this person or someone like them, or these are the characteristics that I like about them. This is what is attractive to me. And I promise you that once you write this down and get clear, like I wouldn't be surprised if y'all got like a text message or a Facebook message or something where this person kind of expresses interest, whereas before they might have been keeping it kind of professional, or like maybe they comment on your stories, but there's not a whole lot. But once you get clear and you're like, I want to manifest this person or someone like them, and these are the characteristics that I really am drawn to, you're going to hear from that person, or you'll hear from someone that is like them, but better, right? So I'm gonna challenge you. If you're listening to this, do this, take the challenge, and then comment what happens, because I promise you that there is magic in the air, and there's things that want to happen, and there is love that is orbiting those of you that are listening and that wants to land. You know, it's like a butterfly that wants to land on your shoulder. And all you have to do is open yourself to it and be willing to receive. So I hope that this reading was helpful. Take care, everybody. Bye.